Hey folks, so on some of the forums, is kind of a question, and been other videos out there about it too, about the DJI, the new compatibility firmware that makes the G2 goggles work with your old Vista Air units, and Mads Tech has said that it basically makes your Vista units RF-wise just about exactly like the O3 units, so in theory possibly the same exact range. So one thing I found is like going around that circle what I call the mock loop. I had to use helical antennas to get around there before with the old Vistas and my old V1 goggles. Whereas with the G2 goggles in Nevada and then also the O3 Air unit, I'll be able to do it with just what they came with, the stock antennas. So I went ahead and updated the Betaflight 95X, the blue one. I updated that guy to the new firmware, and also had to put in, I don't know if you can see it sitting right there on top of the camera. That's my ELRS receiver, and that's one of those kind. See if I got one right here. Well, you can't see it in the pack. It's one of those kind with the ceramic antenna that everybody says is junk. I'm sure they probably aren't near as good as anything else, but set my transmitter on 250 and setting those to 50 hertz, I'm able to make it around the circle. And Amber is complaining about me. Basically, she never told me there was an RSSI though. With it mounted that high up there over the camera, she never told me like a low signal quality. Though she did say basically telemetry was lost quite a few times. She told me that. I don't think she said anything else. No RSSI, or maybe you'll see on the video. Maybe it's blinking like crazy. I don't know. Or maybe I forgot to set up the RSSI limits. That's probably what happened. I didn't set that up in Betaflight, so that wasn't blinking. So anyways, it made it, that ELRS made it all the way around the circle, and so did the video with just the stock linear antennas that are built onto the goggles, and then also that another thing that everybody says is junk is the Caddx stock antenna that comes with the Vista. Those are supposed to be junk unless this is maybe an old version or something. I don't know. They said the Rush Cherries that they originally came with were good, and I think these are supposed to be junk. I've never really had any problems with it or noticed any difference as say compared to this guy, a VAS Ion or IB Crazy Ion antenna. I've never really noticed much of a difference. So maybe one of these days I'll change that antenna out for something better, but it does make it around the circle. I'm going to provide you with that video right now, and maybe I'll narrate it, or maybe I'll just let you watch it. It's the same thing as what I just told you, so it makes it. Okay, now onto the videos. This first video is my first, no, it wasn't the first lap. My first lap, I ran in LED mode for the goggles. LED mode, it makes the, kind of oversaturates colors, but it also, and ups the contrast, but it kind of lowers the, it lowers the brightness like crazy. So you run like your EV at like +2 and the goggles brightness all the way up, and then you can see pretty good, and the colors look cool. But anyways, I ran the first one like that. This is just the color is standard on this flight, but the goggles 2 in compatibility mode does not auto record, so I forgot to record that. So anyways, getting to the hard spot here. You can see the RSSI, or the link quality, will start blinking. We're already down to 10. Yeah, there's my blink. It's blinking. Already lost telemetry on that. Get down to 5 megabit. So it got pretty bad through there. I didn't fly like super low, but I was well under the power line. So yeah, it makes it around just fine. It's basically like O3. Before this took directional antennas to do with the G2 goggles and the new compatibility firmware on the Vista. This is perfectly fine. I mean, it's just like O3, except for the pixelation is a lot worse, of course, because it doesn't have the H.265 compression, so it just doesn't look as good. But range-wise, you have just as much range with the Vista running the O3 firmware-ish, the compatibility firmware. So one thing, I'm going to do 2 videos here. This one is, of course, on the standard mode, LED. The color mode is standard. I'm going to go just do another run around the yard with it set to LED mode, just to show you kind of what that looks like. This does look a lot cleaner, easier on the eyes, But the oversaturated look is just like, I was like, does this look kind of like Avada? It doesn't. But you're going to see that coming up here. There, I'm trying to figure out the DVR, trying to stop it. Alright, next up. This is the one with the LED mode. So you see it's kind of got that dark look like Avada, kind of contrasty look. Oversaturated colors for sure. And yeah, my battery's low. My batteries are all low. They're kind of old. I need to replace them. Somebody commented about how I better not use that battery again. Well, I've used it a lot more times. But it's, yeah, so you see how that look is. It's a little almost like Avada, but you know, it's not, but when you actually compare them. But it gives you that feeling like, hey, this is nice color. So anyways, that's that.